Hey, this is Nelly's Farm. I got a short ghost story for you guys. This is one of the first times I'd ever really seen a ghost. I was staying in my uncle, I'm going to say uncle, but he really was a friend of the family, and a World War II hero, actually. He was in his 80s back then. I was staying at his place for a few months, and this was in rural Michigan. And it had a lot of history in that area. I knew his house, that's another whole story, was really haunted. And he'd actually built that house by himself, well, with his very pregnant wife at the time, around World War II, with recycled materials from other houses. He didn't really pay much at all to build that house. From older houses that had been torn down and stuff. That's probably why it was haunted. But anyway, one night, I couldn't sleep. I was in the middle of the night, and I was sitting in the recliner watching TV. I think it was news reruns. Now, this was in the 90s, guys, way back when, you didn't have tons of channels and stuff. It was old news, and I was just sitting there trying to get tired again. And he had a big window, and this was the living room, just, not very far from me. A very large window, and the curtains never closed. I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I look over at the window, and I see a little girl dressed like Little House on the Prairie. A little girl, maybe like 5-6 years old. She had on the bonnet. She was carrying something. I don't know if it was books or a basket. I can't remember now. It's been so long. And she was carrying something, and I saw the outline of her, and she was white, but it did have a lot of details, like stereotype white ghost, I saw every detail, She did not turn her head to look at me. She kept going. It was against the window, but the strange thing was that there's bushes right there, and she walked right through those bushes and kept going out of my line of sight. And I was terrified. I just sat there stiff in the chair with my heart pounding. And my Uncle Don actually came out and got something from the kitchen. The next morning, I told him about it, and he started laughing, and he said, "I thought something might have happened." He said, "I could tell by the way you looked." And he said, you look like you just saw a ghost or something." But I wanted to share this story with you. Maybe they had she lived on a farm out there where she lived, and she was going to school or something. I don't know, but there was definitely some kind of residual energy going on there. That was the only time I saw it, but I wanted to share that with you for my spooky videos for October. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up for me. Nelly's Farm signing off.